manager. It's the two guys we have with suspension and motor fabrication, so it's a lot of things that add up to it. It's just not one person.
Brian Lunas, Damon's mechanic, has tuned for some of the greats, including Bob Hanna, Donnie Hansen, Ricky Johnson. Tonight, he will try to lend his expertise to help pull Damon through. But ultimately, when that gate drops, it's all in Bradshaw's hands.
Indeed it is, Dave. And the whole key, if there is a key to this race, it's Bradshaw's performance in the early going, I feel. Bradshaw needs to go for the lead. He can't settle. He can't ride for that number 3 position. If he does, then I think he has an opportunity to get into trouble. If he rides his own race and really goes for it all the way, then he's got this one in the bag.
Well, he says he's trying to treat it like just another race. We'll know in a moment. The sign drops, and the gate will too, and we'll be underway with the series finale. The charge to turn 1. Let's see who gets out front. Bradshaw did not get a great start. There's a tangle back in the pack. Stanton grabs the lead. Bradshaw is 4th. Ahead of him, Guy Cooper and Brian Swink battle for the 2nd spot. Stanton is in position right now to clinch the championship.
And Mike Kidrowski has moved past Bradshaw. He's taken over the number 4 position. That dropped Bradshaw back one more notch. Bradshaw is riding conservative. He can't do that, Dave. He has got to go for that number 1 position quickly, or he'll get into a rut.
Jean-Michel Bayle, meanwhile, is far back in the pack. Look for him here as they clear the finish line jump on lap 1, and we don't see him inside the top 10. Bradshaw goes back after Kudrowski. He needs to be going to the front instead of to the back. He is riding 5th as they head up the peristyle on lap 1 with Jeff Stanton, the leader. And we've got a rider down.
Rider number 30, Larry Brooks, and you saw to the inside of the peristyle. Rider number 1, Jean-Michel Bayle. He was about in 7th place. Here's the battle up front. Guy Cooper is giving Jeff Stanton fits. Look at this.
Keep in mind that both of these guys came through the semifinals, so they didn't have great spots on the gate, but they got good starts. And Cooper, who was phenomenal in the semi, now challenges Stanton, who is in position, if this race ended right now, to win the championship. He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Well, and so is Bradshaw. Now, both Kidrowski and Bradshaw have gone by Brian Swink, so that puts Bradshaw in 4th. He needs to pass one more rider. He's got to pass Kidrowski, or he's got to pass Cooper, and he'll wrap up the title with that 3rd place finish, no matter what Stanton does. And he's riding well right now, a good controlled race, and I don't see how you can keep him out of the top 3, Dave.
The issue, of course, could be Jean-Michel Bayle. He is expected to play some sort of spoilers role here tonight. It would be a long shot for him to win the championship, but he hasn't gotten up there to mix it up with anybody yet, and Stanton has pulled away from Cooper. Jeff has dug down deep here tonight, and we're going to go back and take a look at the start and see how Damon Bradshaw found himself in 4th spot as they came off the gate.
Well, watch this. He's lined up next to Mike Kidrowski. Now, look at the two of them. And elbow to elbow. As a matter of fact, there's some contact, and that let Stanton just move in front of Bradshaw, slam the door, and that gave him that little bitty edge he needed to get through the first corner.
And it leaves Kidrowski and Bradshaw racing for position, and as it turns out, it is the critical position for which they are competing. 3rd spot is up for grabs. It's Kawasaki versus Yamaha. If Bradshaw can get that spot, it's worth who knows how many dollars, Larry.
Well, a couple of points that I would make here, Dave. If you looked out front, Stanton is riding extremely well now. That's not the same Stanton that we saw in the heat races. Meanwhile, Damon Bradshaw is riding a little bit on the conservative side. I really think that while he looks comfortable, he should have made a move or two to try to get on the inside or the outside of Kidrowski. He can't continue to follow him. If he does, he's going to be in that rut, and he's going to be hurting right now. And look, he's faltering just a little bit. He just doesn't look like Bradshaw now.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'd say he looks comfortable or not, Larry. He looks to me like he's struggling a little bit. He seems to be trying to do things that just aren't working.
Well, in the struggles, see, they have caught up with Cooper, so they're going extremely fast. Cooper's running in a number 2 position, and both Kidrowski and Bradshaw are catching him, and here comes Bayle. Now, this is going to be interesting. What is Jean-Michel Bayle going to do? He's out of the chase for the championship. I don't see him catching Stanton, but he could be a factor in helping his teammate. Remember, though, what he said in the early going? He said, no, I'm not helping. He's going to have to do it himself.
We'll be back with more right after this.
The Suzuki Katana 600. It cranks even before you turn it on.
Sure. Unsure. Sure. Unsure. Sure Solid has the most effective wetness-fighting ingredient you can buy. So when dryness counts, be sure to be dry.
Sports Illustrated gets you ready for the excitement of NFL football in this amazing new video, the 1992 Pro Football Spectacular. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated.
Stay at home if you don't want to get hit.
Call this toll-free number now and get the best of last season, plus Sports Illustrated's view of next year's champions.
If I were to pick one right now, I'd say the Dallas Cowboys.
Plus, you'll also receive a second video free with your paid subscription. You'll get the NFL video of your favorite team, no matter which team you prefer. Pick any one of the 2018 videos. It's your choice. Free from Sports Illustrated. Your team video will take you through the 91 season from the end zones to the locker rooms. Plus, you'll know what's new for 92. Call now to subscribe or renew. Get your 2 free videos and 30 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.49 an issue. Save 50% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. You'll catch the best of the year with your 2 free videos and Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Hi, I'm Jerry McInnes, and it occurs to me that we all have the responsibility of taking care of our environment. Let's get together and work on it. You can make a world of difference.
The Suzuki Intruder. She's beautiful, and she cooks.
We're back in the L.A. Coliseum where Jeff Stanton leads the race and potentially the championship. Here is the development. Jean-Michel Bale, Stanton's teammate, has caught Damon Bradshaw and is racing him for 4th spot. His mechanic, Cliff White, urging Bale on. Past the Yamaha, get behind us to the front.
Bale came from out of the pack to catch Bradshaw, but since moving up to the rear wheel, he's not done anything except follow. Now, this is one of the big mysteries. I don't know if it's a mystery or not because we're watching it unfold, but it looks to me like Bale really is not trying all that hard to get around Bradshaw.
He had a momentary window there as Bradshaw got hung up in a rut. Bale probably could have jammed inside him, but elected not to, and so Bradshaw continues to ride 4th, 1 position short of what he needs to clinch the crown, and Bale is back there, I don't know, stalking him, shadowing him, or just watching him. He's certainly not pressing him.
It's almost like Jean-Michel Bale is saying to himself, hey, I'm not going to be a factor in the championship. I'm not going to win it, so I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not going to get between my own teammates Stanton and Bradshaw. I'll let them settle it. Funny for a team player to react that way, but that's the way it looks to me.
Well, remember, as we watch the battle now heating up here for the 2nd spot, there goes Kedrowski. Kedrowski has passed Cooper and taken over 2nd place. So perhaps there is a challenger here to Stanton's supremacy. Kedrowski, for the moment, the fastest man on the racetrack, displaces Cooper in the runner-up spot. Remember the arithmetic. If Stanton wins, Bradshaw must be 3rd, and he is back about 5 to 6 bike lengths behind Cooper, still stuck in 4th spot. Out front, let's talk about Jeff Stanton. He is riding magnificently.
He definitely is. This is not the same Stanton we have seen for the past couple of weeks. Boy, the pressure doesn't seem to be bothering him at all. Now, here comes Bradshaw. He now is catching Cooper. Question has to be, which is the easier of the 2 riders to pass, Mike Kedrowski or Guy Cooper? Normally, I might have to say Cooper because Kedrowski's a little bit on the wild side, but today Cooper has been all over the track, and I would hesitate to say this, but Cooper could end up taking the 2 of them out, before this is over.
Well, Bradshaw's got to be thinking about that, but mostly he's got to be thinking pass. He's not afraid of anybody out there. He's the most aggressive guy on the racetrack, and tonight he's just having trouble putting things together. He needs to pass somebody.
He does. Cooper is in that loose mode. Man, when he's going like that, the guy is just flat flying. But sometimes he lets himself get into trouble because of that. He's holding it down well now. Well, my hat's off to him. He's doing a heck of a job.
We watched Jeff Stanton. I thought he had surrendered the championship at San Jose when he let Bradshaw catch him from behind and run him down. He has come back tonight doing exactly what he's got to do. That's the subject of Art Ekman's report.
As the contenders vie for the extra $100,000 and the 1992 Supercross title, Keith McCartney, the Yamaha team manager right behind me, has already pre-calculated what it will take for his rider, Damon Bradshaw, to win the title.
For instance, on his chart, if Stanton is in 6th, Bradshaw needs a 12th to become the Supercross champion.
Jean-Michel Bayle is also figured on that chart.
Well, crashes or mechanical failure are always unpredictable elements in this, but for the moment, Stanton's making the arithmetic easy. He's leading the race. He's letting Bradshaw know exactly what he's got to do. He's got to pass.
Oh, and Damon Bradshaw almost came unglued. He hit a Bayle on the side of the racetrack. Talk about ragged. Now, that slowed him down considerably. He's got to stop and think. Am I pushing too hard? What in the world am I doing? That was almost a tragedy there for Bradshaw.
Guarantee you we'll be taking another look at that moment in which perhaps...
Here it is. Look at this. Now watch him just clip that Bayle. There it comes, and see him just hit it with the rear wheel, then over with his peg. He actually hit 2 Bayles there. And boy, he's just coming up short. He's just riding ragged, Dave.
And speaking of Bayles, here comes another one.
Yeah, here comes another one, but that Bayle is more or less stationary right now. He had another opportunity to make the pass, didn't take it. Meanwhile, the Yamaha camp, look at them. They are getting anxious. They're upset. They want something to happen here, Dave.
Well, I tell you, Lunas he's looking like he just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
He can't figure out what's wrong with Damon Bradshaw, and I guarantee you Damon Bradshaw can't figure out what's wrong with Damon Bradshaw. Nothing's working.
I keep watching Jean-Michel Bayle, who coasted through the last 2 turns to let Bradshaw stay in front of him.
He has made a decision that he is not going to pass Damon Bradshaw. I think that much is clear. You're the expert. Speculate about why he wouldn't make the pass.
I think that he's practicing his road racing. He's going to France in another week, and hopefully he's going to do more passing on the pavement than he is here on the dirt. I don't know the answer to that one, Dave. We know that they dislike each other. To that extent, I would never have guessed it would have gotten that far. But Bayle is just floundering around out there trying to stay out of the way.
Well, I tell you, it looks like a slow race at the field meet. Which one of these guys can go the slowest? It's unbelievable. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you don't have an efficient Heil air conditioning system, you could be throwing money right out the window. A Heil system keeps you cool without burning a hole in your pocket. Here's how to get one.
For more information on Heil cooling systems, see Skip or Ron at Southern States, your area residential and commercial air conditioning experts. Conveniently located on Urbana Pike, Frederick.
Heil Home Cooling Systems, the energy savers.
Hi, I'm Johnny Unitas, and I want to share one of my fishing tips with you. Enter the Maryland Catch and Release Award Program. Catch a trophy-sized fish, measure it and photograph it, release it live, and then enter the statewide contest. You'll get a handsome citation, an arm patch, and your picture in next year's Fishing in Maryland magazine. For more details, pick up a Catch and Release brochure where you buy your fishing license. Release a fish today, and you'll make sure there'll be fish for future generations. See you later.
Nigel Mansell could clinch the World Driving Championship with a record 9th victory of the season. But will the notorious turns at the Grand Prix of Hungary slow him down? Find out Sunday morning live on ESPN.
On SportsCenter, the sky's the limit as the Jays go after the Birds. The Pirates look to stay unbeaten in August, and Ray Hanley's whip is at work with the Giants. Join me, Linda Cohn, along with Mike Tirico for SportsCenter, 11:30 Pacific.
I thought 1992's biggest disappointment in terms of sports would be Dan O'Brien's failure to make it to the Olympics. Certainly the Reebok people thought that. The Dan and Dave shootout that didn't happen. But for Team Yamaha, it's going to be this night right here. Damon Bradshaw stuck in 4th, pursued but not challenged by Jean-Michel Bayle, is in the process of losing the 1992 Supercross Championship.
We have seen so many things this season, so many ups, so many downs, that I'm not going to speculate that it's all lost, because we still have Kedrowski, we still have Stanton, we still have Cooper, and they have to ride error-free from here on out. They bobbled, and Bradshaw's going to be back in it, but he is not helping his cause. And I would point out again, Dave, that the only one helping his cause right now is Jean-Michel Bayle.
Bayle could certainly make matters worse for Bradshaw if he passed him. He's shown no inclination to do that. We can only speculate about Bayle's motivation, or in this case, lack of motivation. But keep in mind that he thinks Jeff Stanton knocked him off at San Jose in the next-to-last series race. Perhaps this is a form of retaliation. In any case, all of this is happening far behind the 3rd place that Damon Bradshaw has to have to win that championship. Unless somebody else crashes or blows up, Stanton is going to be the champion.
Yeah, we've been harping on Bale, we've been harping on Bradshaw, but this guy is getting the job done, and we can't give him enough credit. The pressure was really on him. He had to go out, he had to win, he had to perform. He had not been riding well enough to do that. But man, he clicked the light switch, and it's been night and day. He's hitting everything right.
Look at the interval back to second place here as he pulls away a little bit from Kedrowski. Perhaps the bottom line, Larry, is that Jeff Stanton has been here before and has survived this championship pressure. Damon Bradshaw hasn't done that yet.
I will tell you this, if Mike Kedrowski can do it, he will catch Stanton, and he will try to make the pass. Kedrowski's not going to give anything away to either one of these two guys. He would love to take the win and be the spoiler in the whole thing.
He doesn't care about the
not one little bit.
He wants to win a race. He's never won one of these things. So perhaps for Damon Bradshaw, the best hope right now is this guy, Kedrowski. Early on, he was the fastest man in the race, but I'll tell you what, I'll take all the change in my pocket and bet you right now that if he catches Jeff Stanton, he'll never get around him. Stanton will not let that happen.
Well, Stanton has, we have seen this a couple of times. He is, you know, he's in that zone where what he's doing is right. He can pick up the pace. He can let it down just a little bit. We've seen him adjust his riding accordingly, where Bradshaw, the zone he's in, is all bad. And Bale just continues to watch and follow.
Bradshaw's in the twilight zone, and I frankly am amazed to see it. There were a lot of possible scenarios coming into this race. One was that Damon Bradshaw would go out and crash away the championship. It wouldn't have surprised me a bit. The one thing I did not expect Damon Bradshaw to do was to come here and be mediocre.
The only thing I can think, Dave, is that he was riding, and look, here comes Jeff Emig from out of the pack. He has caught them. Bale saw that, and Bale said, goodbye. I'm not messing around with Emig. I'm going to go ahead and make the pass. Look at him pull away. He was ready to leave. Now that is throwing a little bit of salt onto the wound.
Just one observation about Jean-Michel Bale. This is the biggest race in the life of Damon Bradshaw and Jeff Stanton. The biggest race in Jean-Michel Bale's life is next weekend when he goes in road races in Europe. He's done with Supercross. We'll be back to see if Jeff Stanton can pull it out right after this.
2 years back, Duraliner hit truck owners like a ton of bricks. Duraliner improves the resale value of your truck and protects it with patented features and custom fit design. And Duraliner's exclusive tailgate protector makes your truck look better and protects it. Ask for Duraliner by name, the #1 bed liner in the world. Demand quality, demand Duraliner.
For your nearest Duraliner dealer number, call 1-800-MY-LINER.
What makes a mountain man a mountain man? Let's find out. Must a mountain man be a big burly guy with an axe? A man of steel? Must a mountain man even be a man? Actually, the only requirement is the right beer. Smooth bush beer or easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn what makes the typical mountain man anything but.
This ESPN program is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
What an unbelievable finish to the 1992 Camel Supercross Championship. The defending champ is out of there, Jean-Michel Bale. Danny Bentley frantically signaling to lap riders, get out of my man's way. And his man is Jeff Stanton, #2, who is less than a lap away from a 3rd Supercross championship.
Well, the white flag is out, signifying 1 lap remaining, and Dave, the fat lady, is about to sing.
I would not have predicted it. I thought that Stanton, as I said before, had given up on this championship when he was beaten, and beaten rather soundly in the next to last series race. I thought Bradshaw had what it took. When it came down to the last race of the year, it was Stanton who reached in.
Well, you asked me at the outset of the program for a forecast who was going to win, and I said to you, Stanton is going to win it in a walk.
That's
remember?
Not the way I remember it. I don't recall that prediction that way. He has done what he had to do by focusing on the objective, and now Stanton will come to the final checkered flag. Only his 3rd of the season. Compare that to 9 for his rival, but consistency. He didn't crash it away. He rode consistently, and he is number one.
Look at that. He raised his arm. He's going to park. He knows he has won it, but he's going to wait up there to see for sure. Look at that. Boy, is he happy or what?
This is the stone face. This is the guy who never shows any emotion. I guarantee you, this is the biggest moment in Jeff Stanton's life. Let's enjoy it with the crowd here in Los Angeles.
That was Dave Arnold behind him, and Dave was up there to make sure they didn't screw up any of the scores, I think.
For Bradshaw, what can you say? Failure to perform under pressure. When the critical moment came, he didn't have what it took. This man did, and so Team Honda celebrates Stanton's third championship.
We'll point out quickly, that's Dan Bentley, the mechanic that just tore up his chalkboard, and the motorcycle that Stanton slammed to the ground. I don't think Dan cares. I'll fix her.
They have pulled the fat from the fire. Stanton is number one in 1992. Art Ekman is trackside with the man who could have been the spoiler today.
Mike, you not only rode a great race for second place, but also might be a good feeling that you helped determine the national championship here with your great ride.
You know, I was out there trying as hard as I could. It was humid here today at the LA Coliseum, and, you know, I rode as good as I could, you know, and Stan wasn't too far in front of me, but I need to just hang it out a little bit more, I think, and, you know, I would have been able to get him. I wasn't even thinking. I didn't even know where Bradshaw was, nothing, and my mechanic was just saying, go, get Stanton, get him, you know. That's what counts, so Stan rode good. If anybody got it, I think he deserves it.
What about next year? You staying put?
Yeah, I'm going to be with Kawasaki, and, you know, I'll do the best I can. I got a good Supercross track I'm putting in, so maybe that'll help me out.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks.
The celebration begins for 24-year-old Jeff Stanton of Sherwood, Michigan. Here's a statistic I think is relevant. He has won tonight his 16th Supercross race. Damon Bradshaw, in contrast, has won 17. But Jeff Stanton has won 3 championships, and Damon Bradshaw is still looking for the first one. The bottom line is, in this sport, this guy is number one. We'll be right back to hear from him.
To some, the world just looks better from a different angle. For those select few, Honda built the CBR 900RR, CBR 600F2, and VFR 750F. Enjoy the view.
Larson is ready. Gets the sign. Two strikes, ball one. Here comes the pitch. Strike three. A no-hitter on first and base for Don Larson.
Williams swings, and there's a long drive to deep right.
Contrary to popular belief, it's not impossible to recreate history. It just has to be done with a great deal of care. The Cooperstown Collection. It's a part of baseball you can call your own.
How about that?
Last year, Dale Jarrett edged out Davey Allison and set a record for the closest finish in NASCAR history. Who will take the checkered flag this year at the Champion Spark Plug 400? Find out Sunday afternoon live on ESPN. You're watching ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Failure under pressure. There is no gentler way to describe what has happened to Damon Bradshaw here this evening. He has lost the Supercross championship.
Well, he has indeed, and what a shame for, obviously, the